You ever bought one of those lottery scratch-off tickets? You know, the ones where you tell yourself, it's just $5, what's the worst that could happen? Next thing you know, you're $20 deep in cardboard dust, wondering where your grocery money went. We've all been there. Look, managing your money doesn't have to be as confusing as trying to read a tax form in a hurricane. It's actually more like learning to ride a bike. A little wobbly at first, maybe a few scrapes along the way, but once you get the hang of it, it's pure freedom. That's what this channel is all about, giving you the tools and know-how to take control of your finances without the complicated jargon or boring lectures. We're going to talk about everything from budgeting, yes it's important, but we'll make it fun, I promise, to saving, investing, and even getting out of debt. So buckle up, grab your piggy bank, and get ready to laugh your way to financial freedom with Financial Strategy for the Average Joe. Alright folks, let's talk about spending habits. We all have them, and sometimes they can get a little out of control. It's easy to lose track of where our money is going, and before we know it, we're left wondering why our bank account is empty. Ever notice how spending money is like eating junk food? It's tempting, it's convenient, and it gives you that instant gratification. But just like junk food, it's not always the best choice for your long-term well-being. Feels great at the moment, but you regret it later. That momentary high is quickly replaced by a sinking feeling when you realize how much you've spent. You walk into Target for one thing, maybe a new toothbrush, and suddenly you're walking out with a cart full of scented candles, fuzzy socks, and that waffle iron you swore you'd never buy. It's like the store has some magical power over us. We've all been there. It's a shared experience, and it's almost comforting to know that we're not alone in this. It's easy to get caught up in the moment, especially when those credit card companies make it so darn easy to swipe, swipe, swipe. The convenience of credit cards can be a double-edged sword. But listen, those little swipes add up faster than you can say overdraft fee. Before you know it, you're hit with fees and charges that make you question every purchase. So how do we break this cycle of spend, regret, repeat? It starts with a little self-reflection and a lot of awareness. It all starts with awareness. Start paying attention to where your money is going. Track your expenses for a month and see where you can make changes. Start paying attention to where your money is going. Are you spending more on dining out than you realized? Are those small daily purchases adding up to a significant amount? Are you an impulse buyer, an emotional spender? Recognizing these patterns is the first step to making a change. Do you cave to the pressure of keeping up with the Joneses? It's easy to fall into the trap of comparing ourselves to others and feeling the need to match their spending. Once you know your spending triggers, you can start to avoid them. Create a plan to resist those temptations and stick to it. Instead of hitting them all when you're feeling down, call a friend, go for a walk, or find a free activity you enjoy. There are plenty of ways to lift your spirits without spending money. Remember, true happiness doesn't come from a shopping bag. It comes from experiences, relationships, and finding joy in the little things. And here's a little trick. Before you buy something, especially a big purchase, wait 24 hours. Give yourself time to think it over. Sleep on it. A good night's rest can give you a fresh perspective and help you decide if that purchase is really necessary. Chances are that burning desire to own a life-size cardboard cutout of your favorite celebrity will have faded by morning. You'll likely realize that you don't need it after all. Trust me, your wallet will thank you. By making more mindful choices, you'll find that your financial health improves, and so does your peace of mind. Okay folks, let's talk about the B word, budgeting. Now before you roll your eyes and think about switching to another video, hear me out. Budgeting doesn't have to be a tedious chore. In fact, it can be quite empowering once you get the hang of it. I know, it sounds about as fun as a root canal. But trust me, it's not as painful as it seems. The initial setup might take some time, but once you have a system in place, it becomes second nature. But trust me on this one. Budgeting is the cornerstone of good financial health. It's like having a roadmap for your money, guiding you towards your financial goals and helping you avoid unnecessary detours. Think of it like this. If you're building a house, you wouldn't just start slapping bricks together without a plan, would you? You'd need a detailed blueprint to ensure everything is in the right place and the structure is sound. No, you'd end up with a wonky-looking shack that's liable to collapse in the next strong wind. The same goes for your finances. Without a budget, your financial house could crumble at the first sign of trouble. A budget is your financial blueprint. It lays out the foundation for your spending, saving, and investing, ensuring that every dollar has a purpose. It helps you track your income, your expenses, and make sure you're spending less than you earn. This way you can avoid debt and build a solid financial future. Now, I'm not talking about some complicated spreadsheet with a million different categories. Keep it simple. The goal is to make budgeting a habit, not a hassle. Start by listing your essential expenses. You know, the non-negotiables like rent or mortgage payments, utilities, groceries, and that morning coffee that keeps you from turning into a grumpy troll before noon. These are the basics that you can't live without. Next, factor in your discretionary spending, things like entertainment, dining out, and yes, even those online shopping sprees. These are the extras that make life enjoyable but aren't absolutely necessary. Once you have a clear picture of where your money is going, you can start setting realistic spending limits for each category. This helps you stay on track and avoid overspending. And here's the fun part. You get to decide where your money goes. Want to save up for a dream vacation? Great. Adjust your budget and start putting money aside each month. Want to take that dream vacation? Great. Adjust your budget and start saving. The key is to prioritize your spending based on what truly matters to you. Want to finally buy that fancy espresso machine? Go for it. Just be prepared to cut back in other areas. Maybe skip a few dinners out, or hold off on that new gadget. Remember, a budget is not about depriving yourself. It's about making conscious choices with your money, so you can achieve your financial goals. It's about taking control of your finances and making your money work for you, not the other way around. Alright, let's talk about everyone's favorite topic, emergencies. Okay, maybe not everyone's favorite, but definitely something we need to be prepared for. Emergencies can come in all shapes and sizes, and they often strike when we least expect them, because let's face it, life throws curveballs when you least expect it. One moment, everything is going smoothly, and the next, you're dealing with a situation you never saw coming. Your car decides to take an unscheduled vacation at the mechanic, leaving you stranded and scrambling for a ride. Or your roof springs a leak during a rainstorm, turning your cozy home into a water park. Or maybe your dog develops a sudden fondness for eating furniture. It happens. Pets can be unpredictable, and their antics can sometimes lead to costly repairs. That's where your emergency fund swoops in to save the day, providing a financial cushion when you need it most. Like a superhero in a cape, except instead of superpowers, it's armed with cold, hard cash. This fund is your financial safety net, ready to catch you when you fall. Now, I'm not talking about stashing a few $20 bills under your mattress. We're talking about having 3 to 6 months worth of living expenses tucked away in a safe and accessible account. This might seem like a daunting task, but it's achievable with a bit of planning and discipline. I know, it sounds like a lot of money, and it is. But think about the peace of mind it brings. Trust me, it's better to have it and not need it, than need it and not have it. This fund can be the difference between a minor inconvenience and a major financial crisis. Think of it as your financial safety net, a buffer against life's unexpected punches. It's there to catch you when you fall and help you bounce back quickly. So how do you build this mighty emergency fund? Start small. You don't need to save it all at once. Even if you can only spare $20 or $50 a week, that's okay. Every little bit counts. Over time, these small amounts will add up to a substantial safety net. Set up an automatic transfer from your checking account to your savings account, so you're less likely to spend it. This way, saving becomes a habit, and you won't even miss the money. By making saving automatic, you remove the temptation to spend that money on non-essentials. It's a simple, yet effective way to build your emergency fund without much effort. And here's a little motivation. Imagine the peace of mind that comes with knowing you can handle whatever life throws your way, without going into debt. It's a priceless feeling. That's the power of an emergency fund. It gives you the confidence to face life's uncertainties head-on, knowing you're financially prepared for anything. Alright folks, let's talk about investing. Now before you start picturing yourself swimming in a pool of gold coins like Scrooge McDuck, let's get one thing straight. Investing is not a get-rich-quick scheme. Remember that time your cousin tried to sell you on that amazing business opportunity that involved selling questionable nutritional supplements out of your trunk? Yeah, let's not go down that road again. Investing is a long game, folks. It's about putting your money to work for you so it can grow over time. Think of it like planting a tree. It takes time, patience, and a little bit of nurturing, but eventually it can bear fruit, or in this case, financial returns. Now, I'm not going to bore you with all the technical jargon about stocks, bonds, and mutual funds. There are plenty of resources out there that can explain those things in detail. What I want you to understand is the importance of starting early and investing consistently. The earlier you start, the more time your money has to compound and grow. And remember, you don't need to be a millionaire to start investing. There are plenty of low-cost investment options available, even if you're starting with a small amount of money. So, do your research, talk to a financial advisor, and start investing in your future today. Alright folks, let's talk about a concept that's near and dear to my heart, living below your means. Now before you start picturing yourself living in a cardboard box and eating ramen noodles for every meal, let me explain. Living below your means doesn't mean depriving yourself or living like a pauper. It simply means spending less than you earn and making conscious choices about where your money goes. Think of it like a fun little challenge, like those reality TV shows where they make people survive on a deserted island with only a toothbrush and a Swiss Army knife. Except in this case, you get to keep your smartphone and your indoor plumbing. The key is to differentiate between your needs and your wants. You need a place to live, food to eat, and clothes to wear. But do you need that latest gadget, that designer handbag, or that fancy sports car? Probably not. Now I'm not saying you can never treat yourself, it's all about balance. If you want to splurge on something special, go for it. But make sure it's a conscious decision, not an impulse buy that's going to derail your entire budget. Remember, the goal is to live a comfortable and fulfilling life, without being enslaved by debt or constantly stressing about money. And trust me, the feeling of financial freedom is worth way more than any material possession. Well folks, that's all the time we have for today. I hope you enjoyed this little crash course in personal finance. Remember, managing your money doesn't have to be scary or complicated. With a little bit of planning, a dash of common sense, and a whole lot of humor, you can take control of your finances and achieve your financial goals. If you found these tips helpful, be sure to give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more money-saving tips and tricks. And remember, saving money doesn't have to be a drag. It's all about finding ways to make it fun and rewarding. After all, who doesn't love the feeling of knowing they're on the path to financial freedom? Now go out there and make those dollars work for you.